What's going on, guys? James here from Reflect the Screen, and I just got out of Hobbs and Shaw, the first spin-off film from the Fast and Furious franchise, which I absolutely adore. Oh, don't believe me? Give me 1 second. I'm trying to tell you. Now, Hobbs and Shaw is a story that surrounds two of our muscle men from the Fast and Furious series. Luke Hobbs, played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and Deckard Shaw, played by Jason Statham. A deadly virus called Snowflake, which is the worst name for a deadly virus ever, is threatening the world's existence. A rogue agent named Hattie, played by Vanessa Kirby, gets her hands on this virus, and now Hobbs and Shaw must protect her at all costs. Unfortunately for this group, they're being hunted by Brixton, played by Idris Elba, and he's a superhuman experiment designed to literally deflect bullets and not die. If it sounds crazy, it's because the story is absolutely nuts. Now, before I go any further, if this is your first time here at Reflect the Screen, welcome to the channel. I put out content every single week on movies and TV shows, so don't miss out. Hit the big red button below and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and like the video if you enjoy this content and share it with a ton of your friends. Also, let me know below in the comments, what is your favorite Fast and Furious film? Alright, so I'm excited to talk to you guys about Hobbs and Shaw. Now, audiences everywhere, I cannot wait to now adjust your expectations for Hobbs and Shaw. Ready? This is a film that does not feel like a Fast and Furious movie at all. It honestly only gets very close when they're in the McLaren and they're kind of doing this like chase scene in London. But other than that, it's just a generic action movie with a generic plot and a storyline that doesn't have a lot of depth. And also the acting is nothing to write home about. So with all of that said, there are things I liked about this movie and I think you'll definitely enjoy. Now, the biggest talking points are going to be with our two leads, Hobbs and Shaw. See, The Rock is a bona fide action star, so you know he brings the heat. Jason Statham is more suave, so his approach is more methodical. And I do love what they bring to the table in terms of their style of action. As for the humor, well, keep watching and I'll tell you why I didn't really enjoy that part of the movie. Now, the big action set pieces really are cool to watch unfold. There are three main sequences, one in London with Deckard Shaw, the second with Brixton at the Eaton headquarters, which is a place where he gets all of his superhuman stuff. They open up his spine, it's really weird. And then the third one is with Hobbs on the island of Samoa. If you love The Rock's quirky comments in between battles, I mean, you'll love this. If you don't mind action set pieces with a lot of CGI, you'll be okay with this too. I mean, there's one sequence which was all CGI that did make me say wow, which was with Brixton. He's going under two 18-wheelers and his bike is doing all this Transformers stuff and he's sliding on the ground, and it was pretty cool, man. The fight choreography was something that I thought was done pretty well. Director David Leitch, who's known for John Wick and he's also known for Deadpool 2, does a lot of this hand-to-hand combat sequencing, and I think it was just fine. I mean, it did pretty well for a generic action movie. I was pretty impressed with a ton of the angles that he played with too. Now, outside of The Rock and Jason Statham, an actor that's gonna probably fly under the radar for you in this film and really is not gonna get enough credit is Vanessa Kirby. She plays Hattie and she's a really fun actor in this film. She delivers her lines with ease and she also has the most depth to her. I honestly think she's the glue that holds the film together. Now, I know I've mentioned Idris Elba briefly, but I mean, he did okay with the script that he was given. He was fine. Now, here's what I didn't like about Hobbs and Shaw, and I know I mentioned a little bit about this earlier, but the humor. Man, the jokes felt completely flat. I mean, there were probably one or two jokes that really had me laughing, but for our theater, for my girlfriend, for myself, it wasn't really that funny. And I think it's because they used a lot of the same running jokes that weren't funny in the first place. So unfortunately, the script in that department really failed this movie. Now, outside of the big action sequences, all the story building in between was a tad bit boring. I get it. This film doesn't necessarily need to have a big, heavy-duty plot, but can you make it at least a little interesting? The moments that I honestly felt something for the story was when we were on the island of Samoa. That's it though. Everything else, I just didn't really care for. And one of the biggest negatives about this movie, the runtime. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes long. There are two mid-credit sequences and a post-credit sequence, so I stayed for all 2 hours and 15 minutes. And it didn't really feel justified. Honestly, you could shave off a half an hour and I think this film would still be fine. Oh, and another thing. So I mentioned a cameo earlier really working. Well, there's another cameo in this film, and I don't want to spoil anything, but kind of sucked. So the best way to really sum up Hobbs and Shaw is it's mindless fun. The three action sequences are really awesome, and diving deeper into The Rock's character well, it was pretty much a treat for Fast and Furious fans. I mean, if you followed the franchise up to this point, you're gonna see this movie regardless, but I think it's one of those films you see once, and after I walked away, I thought, I'm not gonna rush back to see this one again. Alright guys, so that's my take on Hobbs and Shaw. Again, if you enjoyed this review, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below, like this video, and share it with your friends. Don't forget to let me know in the comments what you think of the movie after you see it. Don't be afraid to check out Reflect the Screen on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Alright guys, so until next time, I'll catch you at the next screening. Oh, these? Oh yeah, no, they're not mine. Oh, they belong to that guy.